After releasing my game Residual in 2021, I started a title called Regulators City. That has since been renamed to Regulators. I have been working on it for almost 4 years, which is way too long, due to many circumstances, but it has to be released now. And that means the whole month of April will be about Regulators. Hey, I'm Pascal from Orangepixel and welcome to another video. Now the fun thing is that I have not looked at Regulators since December. Maybe even longer. Because I've been working on Space Grunts and working on a bunch of things behind the scenes, releasing games on Switch and Atari, and of course also doing certain deals left and right just to make sure Orangepixel survives the next few years. But it's now time to focus on this title that's completely done in the way that I think it's a full product and ready to go. I just have to play the game now. So this video is going to be a slice of my week as I dive back into Regulators, check out the game like I'm a new player, never played it before, find what's wrong with it, if any, fix that, hopefully, and release it. Definitely. After the intro. So it's now Monday, which usually is my admin day, but today that means I'm just gonna play my game. I have not played this game since December or longer, which is a good thing because now I can actually dive into the game with a fresh vision, fresh eyes, and I can really run into certain things that maybe are not as clear as they should be towards a player that starts this game. So maybe I can do things that to fix that, remedy that. Just gonna boot up the game, play through it and make a bunch of notes in a text file and figure out what to do with all that. Perhaps the game is just so awesome that I don't have any notes and then it's gonna be a very short video. But I don't think that's the case. Let's play the game. It's a big game. It has a lot of things going on and I feel like it's overwhelming the player at the start. Getting back into this game after not playing it for so long, it now feels like something fresh because I felt overwhelmed by so many things going on. So I have to streamline that a little bit better, I think. I have a whole list written up here that it's not so much bugs that I found, a few bugs here and there. It's mostly things that need a little changing, I guess. So I'm gonna work this out a little bit more. Probably put some stuff on my Trello to-dos, a couple of bugs and some things that need changing, but I also have to figure out how I can change those without completely rewriting the game, because that's not the point of this. The game is done. I just now need to make sure it's actually the best fun and the best experience for the player who gets into this game for the first time. And I think there's a bunch of things that can be done better. So for now, rest of my Monday, I need to redo some art during my YouTube hack. The one thing that got lost on my PC after reformatting it was the artwork I did for Regulators. Not all the art's gone, but the final one, which was the good one and the cool one that I want to use. Of course, that one, I forgot to back up that one. So I have to redraw it, recreate it. I'll also have to create a trailer for the game. I noticed this video I have on here is like really old and outdated, like a very outdated stuff. I need to fix this. I need to create an actual proper release trailer. Also, these screenshots are very old. Status bar stuff isn't correct anymore. This is fairly new, but yeah, too many things have changed. I need to do all these things pretty much. So there's a huge task list and to-do list. I'm gonna just dive into all of it and we'll see where we end up by the end of this video. All right, Tuesday. Sorry, it's already 3:30 in the afternoon. The day got away from me. Regulators is a game that's a lot of fun, has a lot of stuff going on, but I always feel like something's missing and I struggled with that earlier today. I ended up creating completely new graphics for the main characters and now I ditched them again. I shouldn't change these things. I have to focus now on just wrapping up the work. I wasted some time on that. I also managed to do most of the problems I ran into yesterday. Most of those things on the list are gone, fixed. Most of those things were very tiny. A few things still left because they are not tiny, so they require a little bit more work. Yeah, I'm not sure what it is with Regulators, but it's hard getting into this game. But once I got into the game, I just played another session. It has so many cool things going on. There's a lot there, but something isn't connecting things correctly or something. I'm not sure. I just know that this game has a learning curve for players, which is a problem because usually players will not give that amount of time to a new game. They just want to dive in, understand the game, play it and have fun. Not sure this game is gonna do that, but I'm sure the Steam reviews and comments from players will show me that or confirm that, but I'm also not sure what I can do to fix that. So yeah, I'll have to keep focused on fixing the things that are there and improving the things that are there without spending too much time on just rewriting a bunch of things and changing things. And the game is what it is. It's a good game, it's a fun game. It just has a learning curve. Now I also opened up this mockup. I created the original mockup that started this whole project. When I create a new game, I often start with just drawing things, and this was that. And there is a certain vibe and feeling coming from this image that's not in the final game. It's an itch that I keep scratching, and I shouldn't. The result of all of this is that my Tuesday is almost done. Recording this, editing the video up to this point, so I know I have a good video. Tomorrow I'll just have to continue with the things I wrote down, and maybe more play sessions to write down more actual problems and not trying to change things that I'm not even sure why they are wrong or what is wrong or what's causing the wrong feeling or whatever. Yeah, as long as I don't really know that, I cannot fix this problem at all. Maybe there is no problem. It might just be between my ears. Because I kind of started thinking that Regulators, during most of the development of this game, I ran into all these extra problems and things happening in my life, as I explained in the last video of 2024. Maybe that's just still lingering in this game's code base or something. So every time I dive into this game, it just doesn't feel quite right. And hopefully I'll get over it by tomorrow. So let's just move into the Wednesday. So it's Wednesday and I'm gonna start editing a level. I still want to add a few more levels. I also had a level file, a part level from Nathan, who was trying to edit the game, but then he didn't finish it. So I'm gonna look into that level and see if I can actually wrap it up and put it in the game. Which means time to open up the level editor. Now the cool thing is that this also allows me to check out the level editor and see if there are no errors in it. And sadly, there are a few. So while I was editing the level, I actually had to restart a few times because the game or the level editor crashed. Fixed most of those problems, so progress made all over the place. So I came to the conclusion that editing somebody else's level is difficult. Sorry, Nathan, decided to not continue on that map and just started a whole new map from start. So we now have a new airfield map. I'm happy with it. It's a fairly simple one, but I think it covers everything and it has everything that's needed. So that's a lot of time spent on creating a single map. Now, I think there are enough levels in the game already. So I don't have to create more levels, but maybe if I find some inspiration, I'll try another one. Now today is not just about Regulators. I actually have to update a handful of Android versions of my games. Not for Google Play, but another market. So I'm gonna get into that. I don't think it's a lot of work, but it has to be done because I want these games back up there. They're right now offline and I need them back online. So I'm gonna fix those things. So I'm gonna focus on that for the rest of the day probably. Maybe I'll squeeze out a couple of bug fixes on Regulators before it's Thursday. This morning I started tackling the settings menu. It was daunting. I think that's the best way to describe it. So I needed to change it a little bit, reformat things a little bit. So two reasons for that. First reason, there's too much there. It can overwhelm the player who is just looking for maybe a little setting or an option and then suddenly see all these things. It just had too many options or different things on the same page. So I wanted to group that a little bit more. The second reason, if this game gets released on, for example, a Switch or Switch 2 or on iOS and iPad, the resolution on those devices is slightly different. We have less screen space to fit things vertically. I'm probably, it could be that it all fits, but if I add like one option or if it doesn't fit and we port this game in like a year, I have to dive back into the code base and figure out how to change it. And that would maybe take 30 minutes. Now I know exactly where to be and where to and what to do. So it took me like 5 minutes. I saved future me 25 minutes. Future me, you're welcome. Go do something fun with that time. I also changed the way two-player mode is implemented. I still have to do some testing on that. That's scheduled for next week probably. The problem is that right now if you start a game with keyboard and mouse, that's set as your controller, as your input method. If you would then pick up your gamepad and started wiggling it, it would do nothing because it would automatically expect that to be the second input for a second player. Which is fine if you are with two players, but most people will be playing the game single player mode, and normally in my games you can just switch between everything that's available and the game will just adapt to that. So the pressed A to join, which was shown in the top right corner, is gone, and now you have to activate the second player from the menu, which means you can just start a game with mouse and keyboard and then decide you want to play with the gamepad without triggering a second player. So that felt more normal, and I think for most players who will be playing this single player, it makes more sense. So wrapping up the video, because I also have to edit the video and actually upload it to YouTube and create a thumbnail. I hate those things, but they have to be made. Good week, first week diving into the wrap up for Regulators. I still have a few things to do, like the co-op play mode. I have to test that, so I actually have to test that with somebody else, because doing that on my own is difficult, switching between keyboard and gamepad. I'll find someone to test it with. Decided that the online multiplayer, which is also in the game but partly working and for a large part not working, not gonna focus on that. It won't be in the release version. Wasted a bunch of time on it, got a lot of things figured out, learned a lot from it, but it's just not working. So let's not focus on that unless I really have some time in the last week, but I'm not expecting to add that to the final game. I'll do more playtest sessions because I ran out of things I wrote down on Monday. So Monday I'll start again writing down a bunch of things, playing the game a couple of sessions. Okay, so the fun thing about Regulators is that on Monday, Tuesday, I wasn't really feeling the vibe and something was lacking and missing. Now it's Thursday, I played a lot more, did a lot more work on it. The game is pretty good. There's so much things going on, but I think the problem is getting into the game. That's the difficult part, which I felt on Monday and Tuesday. So for new players, that's gonna be the issue. I have to somehow fix that. And I think it's just being overwhelmed with so many things happening. So the early levels need to ease the player more into the game and understanding what's happening. I might just, that's just gonna be a focus point for me. Maybe I can just delay certain things like the whole tactical advantage screen. Maybe not on the first mission, but maybe the second mission. You have no idea what to pick anyway because you don't understand the game. Maybe the amount of things I throw at the player in terms of enemies, tasks and all those things, maybe I can dim them down in the early missions. Maybe I can create a couple of levels that are very much for the early player, for the first player. So the first time you start a game, you'll get those levels instead of the bigger and more difficult levels, so that it just becomes easier to get into it. I'm not sure. These are just ideas I had on how to clean up the start of the game and make sure that the onboarding of the player and getting into the game becomes easier. Less stuff happening everywhere and not being focused enough. So yeah, those are going to be the points I'm going to be focusing on in the next couple of weeks. But I feel good. The game is in a good shape. So yeah, a few more weeks to go. And then we're going to release it. I also have to create a trailer. That's going to be a thing. Maybe I'll make a video out of that in the next few weeks. But for now, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, comment below. And if you're one of the idlers who never has anything to mention or add to the comments, but you do like to show appreciation for the video and making it to this point in the video and help the YouTube algorithm find these videos, comment the words Regulators. And that's it for this week's video. Thanks for watching. See you next week. Bye.